This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
To our learning of Sefer Shaar Teshuva, we were learning it last year during May Elul and during right before Rosh Hashanah and Asar Tzimei Teshuva, and it's amazing how quickly time flies. We're already back here again, same place, same objective. We're working on Teshuva. Last year we learned the first 6 ingredients of Teshuva, so hopefully we have that under our belt, right? So now, according to Rabbi Yonah, there are actually 20 ingredients of Teshuva, and like we mentioned last year, Teshuva is like doing laundry. Why is that? It's like you go to a kiddush, you get cholent on your shirt, so the first thing you do is you wipe off the cholent. But you still have a stain, so you take some water and you try to get it off. But there's still a little bit of a remnant, there's still some vestige of it, so you need detergent. Same thing with Teshuva. You do an Aveira, there are 3 basic ways to remove the Aveira mostly. Vidoy, you confess to Hashem, you say to Hashem, you sin, and you regret what you did, and you stop doing it. However, there are additional ingredients, and every additional ingredient cleanses you from sin more and more. So the more Teshuva you do, the more ingredients you put into the Teshuva, the more bleach you're using, the cleaner the neshama will be. So now, this year we have the schus to start with the 7th ingredient, okay? This is the 7th type of detergent to add into your Teshuva. And that is, ha'ikar hashvi, the 7th ingredient, hakniya b'chol lev. Humility with all your heart. A certain to be submissive. A certain humility, the hashiflus, and lowering yourself. Ki hamakir es boiroi, one who truly recognizes the greatness of his Creator, yeda, he will know, kama ha'over al dvarav, how much someone who violates his words, shach, is despicable, v'shafal, and lowly, v'nigra me'erkai, and has fallen from his value. And then he says 2 lines down, al ken yikana. Therefore, a person should humble himself. The shafal be'inav, should be lowly in his eyes. In other words, let's say a person did an aveira. The person says, "Okay, big deal. I'm sorry. Forgive me." No. That's not a full tshuva. Full tshuva is when you recognize the greatness of Hashem, and then how lowly it is to go against Hashem. It should engender within a person's heart a certain feeling of, I'm so low before Hashem because I did that. I'm so unworthy before the Ribono Shel Olam because I did that. It should create a certain feeling of humility. And he says, V'David olav hashalom, David HaMelech, V'Svadoisai al chetoi, when he confessed for his sin, V'Vay elav Nasan Hanavi, when Nasan Hanavi came to him, Amar b'soif devarav. Now, very interesting, if you look in Sefer Tehillim, the 51st parak of Tehillim, parak Nun Aleph, is the parak of Teshuva. That's the parak of when David HaMelech did Teshuva after the Aveira with Bathsheba. He comes to Nasan Hanavi, and many of the principles of Teshuva are found in that parak. Anytime a person has a hisayrus, an inspiration to do Teshuva, to look at that parak. That parak has all the primary ingredients of Teshuva. So one of the things that David HaMelech says in that parak of Tehillim, he says, Zivchei Elokim Ruach Nishbara. A sacrifice to God is a broken heart. Leiv Nishbar. And Ruach Nishbara means a broken spirit. Leiv Nishbar, a broken heart. Benidkeh, and a shattered heart. Elokim Lo Yistiv, that God does not despise. In other words, Bizman Hazeh, we can't go to the base of Mikdash and bring a carbon to Hashem. So what could we give Hashem that Hashem will accept like a carbon? So you think, I don't know, write out a check for $1,000 and give it to tzedakah. Hashem will accept that like a carbon. No, that's not what Hashem is at. That's not what Hashem wants. Maybe I'll daven for 3 hours. No, that's not what we're looking for. What is a carbon to Hashem? Ruach nishbara. A broken spirit, a broken heart. In other words, for a person to feel low because of their sin. Now, we're not talking about losing confidence over here. You know, we have to be very careful in 2015, chas v'shalom, to make anybody feel down or despondent. You know, nowadays people's mental makeup is very weak. When we say a broken heart, it means it's a feeling of lowering oneself before the Creator, which really is a feeling of inspiration. But from here, says Rabbi Yonah, we see, Lamadnu mizeh, we learn from here, ki hahachna me'ikare ha'tshuva, submissiveness is one of the principles of tshuva. And then Rabbi Yonah says, ki hamizmar hazeh, this chapter, Yesoid Musa L'ikari HaTshuva, sets forth the primary principles of tshuva. Says Rabbeinu Yoina, Uvahachna Yisratze Ha'adam El Hashem. How do you find favor in Hashem's eyes? How does a Jew find favor in the eyes of Hashem? Feelings of humility before Hashem. Feelings of lowliness before Hashem. That is how a person gains favor in the eyes of Hashem. Okay, now I want to go to the next paragraph, Parak Chav Dalet, on page 34. Says Rabbeinu Yoina, this level of tshuva, this concept of tshuva, of humility, of hachna, it's not all or nothing. There are many gradations, there are many various levels. Veda, kimalois hachna rabos. There are many different levels. Many levels. It's not all or nothing. You could get 1% of it, 2%, 3, 4, up to 100. Now, what's the highest level of hachna? So he's going to say the following. Say you have a guy, he comes over. You know what I did today? I learned for 7 minutes before Maariv. Whoa, can't believe it. You know who you're talking to? You're talking to one of the Tzaddikei Hadar. Somebody who learned 7 minutes before Maariv. Okay, it's a very nice thing. It's a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Every minute, namish get olam hava, ein l'shayar. But would a person go around boasting, kind of holy joy? I learned 7 minutes. All right, that's very nice, but we wouldn't exactly. I don't know if you're going to make it to the Lamed Vav Tzadikim list. Why would but let's say a person said, you know what I did today? I learned 2 hours this morning. That might be a little bit more understandable. He's boasting about something a little bit more significant. Or if somebody said, I learned 5 hours today. So you say, wow. Maybe you have something to be proud of. But the more a person understands that avodas Hashem, serving Hashem, is the most important thing in the world, the more value a person places on it. In other words, if a person understands that God created us and He gives us everything we have, and therefore we owe Him so much, would a person ever go around saying, I learned 5 hours today? Big deal, you learn 5 hours. Of course, that's what you're created for. Nobody would go around. The more you value the serving of Hashem, the less proud you're going to be. It's of course I have to do that. So the highest level of humility is when you value serving Hashem so much that whatever you do to serve Hashem, you think to yourself, well, it's not. I don't deserve honor because I don't deserve praise because of that. That doesn't warrant that I should attract attention. I don't need to be on the front page of. Of course, that's the most important thing in life. Would anybody go around? You know how many breaths I took today? Do you know who you're talking to? You're talking to a man who took over 1,000 breaths today. I'm a very important person. You say, Meshugana, you have to breathe. You know who you're talking to? You're talking to somebody who his heart beat 10,000 times. Nobody would be very proud about that. That's what life, you got to do that. The more a person values avodas Hashem, the less likely he's going to feel arrogant for whatever he accomplished in avodas Hashem. So the highest level of humility, he says, the highest level of humility, which the path of tshuva obligates, a person should magnify the service of Hashem, and therefore he shouldn't take credit for himself. Whatever he does is small in his eyes. Yeah, you accomplished a lot, but compared to what your obligation is, maybe we're not fulfilling what really we should be. Al kain, therefore, yikana, person should feel humble. V'yavoid b'hatznea, and whatever avodas Hashem you could do in a way that people don't know about, that's even better. V'lo yachmoid kavod al masim anachmadim, one should not seek out honor for his wonderful actions. V'lo yivakesh tiferes al pa'olav hamafarim, and not seek out glory for his glorious actions. V'yastirei midaitim k'yachas, and try to hide them from others as much as possible. In other words, the highest level of kiniyah, of humility, is to put such a high value on serving Hashem that whatever a person accomplishes is, in his own eyes, not even as much as really they would be obligated to do. Okay, Rabbi says this is ingredient number 7, kiniyah b'cholei. Shkoyach.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.